This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. I'm going to show you videos and pictures of Georgetown, Penang, Malaysia, as I discuss why I believe it is a great place to consider for low-cost retirement and living. But don't write anything down as you listen. Everything I say is in writing. Just click the link in the notes below this YouTube video to get Penang, Malaysia, livability factors, cost of living, best areas to stay, tours, cheap flights, Old Town walking tour, street art, beach and Buddha tour, temple tours, nightlife bar hopping tour, and food and experiences for digital nomads, and a link to our best retire cheap in paradise locations in the world. We were last here 3 years ago. I love this place even more now. This time we came to Penang after staying a month in Koh Lanta, Thailand. Penang is only about 90 minutes by train from Chung Hoi's hometown, Malaysia. Penang, Malaysia, retire cheap in a tropical paradise known for spicy Malaysian foods and charming colonial era buildings with a rich heritage. Penang is known for its food, and you're unlikely to be disappointed by the fish, chicken, or the beef dishes. If you are vegetarian or vegan, the local restaurants and food courts will have almost nothing listed on the menu, but some food stalls will whip together a meal that even Buddha would love. Plus there are many pure vegetarian vegan restaurants, Western style restaurants, and Indian restaurants with vegetarian vegan dishes listed on their menus. We're digital nomads investigating the best retire cheap in paradise locations in the world. If you'd like to learn how to live in a paradise location for possibly less money than you're spending at home, or the various ways people make money online, grab a free copy of my ebook, How to Fire Your Boss and Travel the World. Just come to the web page, it's there at the top. There are certain factors I call livability factors when thinking about whether or not I could live somewhere. Each factor is assigned high, medium, or low. High is good, medium is okay, and low is unacceptable. Walkability for Penang, high. Colonial era Old Town Georgetown is totally walkable. If you need to go anywhere else, they have a great public transportation system, and GrabCar, the equivalent of Uber in Southeast Asia, is super cheap. The average ride for us around here has been about 8 ringgit or $2. The bus is usually 30 cents, but that is per person. Internet, high. Penang has fairly decent internet speeds. I used the AT&T speed test on the wireless router in our Airbnb, and it registered 72 megabits up and 47 down. That's crazy good. Food, high. We shopped at a Tesco. Groceries seemed about 25% cheaper than the US. Alcohol, beer, and wine is easily double. But we didn't cook at home much on this trip. We stayed a little outside the tourist area and found full entrees for $1.50 to $2.50 per person. Plus the restaurant food was so good we just couldn't get ourselves to cook, since it wouldn't have saved any money and we would still have to do dishes. The weather, high. The year-round average high for the day ranges from about 30 C, which is 86 Fahrenheit in September, to 32 C, which is about 90 Fahrenheit in February. The year-round average low for the day ranges from 23 C, which is about 73 Fahrenheit in January, to 24 C, or about 75 Fahrenheit in May. The rain is moderate in April, August, and November, and heavy in September and October. December through March is relatively dry. Things to do, high. We found a bunch of odds and ends happening in the Time Out magazine, link provided. There are art galleries listed, things to do, music, nightlife, and arts and entertainment. The Canteen Bar in the China House restaurant is still listed as the premier live music forum, the same as my last visit. The China House is listed in the top 50 things to do. Of course, you are on an island with jungles and surrounded by water full of fish, and all that implies. I would say the #1 attraction here is to find the best Mama's restaurant for a $2 or less meal, and they're delicious. A Mama's restaurant is like a neighborhood restaurant, is what they call it in Malaysia. Okay, social considerations. As for former British colony, people are still required to speak English in school here. It was a former English colony. They continue to teach English in school. The main language here is called Malay. There are three major ethnic groups: Malay, Chinese, and Indian. All three groups speak their ethnic languages, and most speak at least some English. The people are very friendly and nice. I don't believe you will face any additional challenges because you're a foreigner. Real estate, you can buy condos here for 3 to 800K ringgit, which is about 100 to 200,000 US. The weird thing is that the rents are so low, it may be cheaper to rent than buy. The place we rent is for $660 per month and sells for 175 US, 175K. If you keep the 175K in the bank and instead an average 6% return, you'll be better off paying rent from the profits. Plus, I'm not saying interest is 6%, but the market. Plus, you should almost never buy real estate in a foreign country until you've lived there for at least 2 years. If you're finding any value here, could you please like it, comment, share, or subscribe? That act of kindness will move us up in Google and YouTube search rankings so our business grows faster. Okay, Penang desirability score overall, I would say high. I could see myself living in Malaysia in either Georgetown, Penang, or Kuala Lumpur. The living costs are higher here than other parts of Malaysia, but I still like these two places the most for everything, all of the amenities they have. Please subscribe to 𝐕𝐈𝐾𝐈𝐕𝐈𝐍𝐆, our YouTube channel, to find all the best places to live or visit around the world. I've been to 65 countries so far. I started in 2007. The Penang table for cost of living is on the web page. It has Airbnbs, apartment release rate, has restaurants, and there's a low, medium, and high estimate, and also local transportation for living here. It ranges from about 400 a month to 1,000 a month. 400 US dollars to 1,000 US dollars per month. This estimated cost of living is for 1 month for one person as a temporary visitor. It only includes rent, 2 meals a day, and local transportation. For a full understanding of what it would cost for you to live here, visit numbeo.com and add any items that you spend money on. Never move anywhere until you've visited first personally to verify the living costs for your lifestyle and needs. I'm not guaranteeing these prices. These are just my notes and estimates from the time of my visit in this post. Your costs will likely be drastically different depending on lifestyle and the time since this post when you're listening. The above numbers are for one person and do not include alcohols, tours, or extras. There's also a link here how the cost of living table works if it confuses you at all. Okay, please book using on the webpage and on YouTube links to recommended flights, tours, or accommodations. You'll pay nothing extra, but we'll earn a small commission. Your kindness will encourage us to keep making these travel videos and guides. Best area to stay in Penang, the Old Town area. There's a map here with a big red circle. Stay there, or the little red circle where we're actually staying. If you're a cultural explorer, your first stay should be in Georgetown in the big circle above. This is where most of the action, history, and places of interest are located. There's a map, and just come and look at it. This time we were here for 3 weeks and we're working also. We wanted a newer, nicer place for cheaper to stay. We ended up staying in the smaller red circle in a place called Straits Garden Suites at a 22 US per night with AC, Wi-Fi, and kitchen. Plus it was only 10 minutes away by bus from the most interesting area, the old Georgetown, Old Town. Plus the neighborhood is full of delicious, cheap food, both veggie for me and meat for Chung Hoi. If you're looking for a relaxing vacation on the beach, then you should probably stay in the Batu Ferringhi area, link provided. You can see what that looks like in our below Batu Ferringhi beach tour video, link provided. I've made a recommendation below at each price point for places to stay. The recommendations go from most to least expensive. You can just click those and see my recommendations. We stayed at an Airbnb, link provided. I do not recommend paying the quoted rates when you stay in Airbnb. We make significantly lower offers on usually about 8 to 10 different properties, and one or more of those are usually accepted. If you're new to Airbnb, there's a link here that will give you a substantial discount. Just use that link. If you're enjoying this, could you please like it, share it, comment? That'll help us out. Really appreciate it. Cheapest flights to Penang. We almost always get our cheapest flights on Skyscanner. Their web crawler is constantly looking for the cheapest flights all over the world. As usual, we found the cheapest flights to Penang on Skyscanner. Best guided tours. There's two tour companies that I recommend. They're both here. You just click these two links and see what's interesting to you. They're priced right. Take a look. Georgetown Penang walking tour, self-guided. The oldest part of Penang Island is called Georgetown. It's full of colonial era buildings and street art. I provided a video. You can watch it. The above videos is us taking the tour. There's a link here you can click to take the Google map on your smartphone to get started on your walking tour. Make sure to buy a Malaysian Hotlink SIM card for your smartphone at the airport when you land. Then you can use all these links to Penang that I provided and save money. International roaming rates on your home country SIM can cost 20 times as much depending what country you're in, so don't do that. And then the walking tour or the webpage also has each stop on the walking tour, and it tells you a little bit about it on the webpage. So you can watch the video and come to the webpage and see that. I'm not going to go over each stop on that here in this video. The next up is the Georgetown Penang Malaysia street art. Penang's famous for murals that are painted all over buildings all around the Georgetown area. And there's a picture of me here, and then there's a Google Map link to tell you 118 places where you can go to see beautiful street art. And it's not, so just come to the webpage, check out the picture of me pushing the bike, and you'll see what I mean. The type of art it is. It's a completely different type of art and very fun, although I enjoy graffiti too. Okay, next up is the Penang Beach and Buddha tour. There's a video here. This is the video of our best beach and Buddha tour to Batu Ferringhi, which I mentioned above, for a place to stay at the beach. Grab the 101 bus from the Georgetown Central to Batu Ferringhi Beach. Along the way, jump off at the Wat Chimanicaram Temple, the floating mosque, and the Batu Ferringhi Beach. You can also go further than Batu Ferringhi Beach to the National Park and take the 2.5-hour hike to Monkey Beach. On this trip, we had lunch at Evergreen Vegetarian House, and there's a Google map to all of that available. Next up is the Georgetown Penang nightlife or bar hopping tour. All of this is on the web page. There's a video here, you can watch it, and if it looks fun, you can go bar hopping. I would say it's very safe here in Penang. Start your night at this expat favorite place for cheap beer. It's about $1 a beer. They also have wine and distilled spirits. Link provided. You'll be sitting outdoors on stools with other Kmart shoppers. For people watching, check out the bars around the Love Lane and Cholula at Mike's Place. The bars all around there are great for people watching. There's usually live music, cheap beers, and a few restaurants of Western food and outdoor eating for cheap local food. There's also live music in this area if you walk and listen. Next up, go listen to some live jazz, blues, or rock all the way at the back of China House in the canteen. If you want to see what the locals are up to, check out the the Jetty Food Court around 9 p.m. when they usually have locals on stage singing their hearts out. If you're looking for the late night see or be seen crowd, then check out this, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but there's a link here on the webpage. Come check it out. It's an amazing place, and it's on the bar hopping tour if you want to see what it looks like. All of that's in the YouTube videos. Just click the Google map and get started along with the Google map. Okay, Penang Malaysia temple tour, 𝐂𝐿𝐴 Temple, and the Penang Hill tour. The amazing view from the Penang Hill, and then there's also an amazing Buddhist temple that you really need to see. There's a video here. If it looks great, go on the tour. Digital nomads, life and food experiences. Here's our best food experiences in Penang. They're all here, available for you. Just click and read. The ones that look good to you, just come check them out. Again, click the link below this YouTube video to get all this information. Let's see. So Penang's facts and history. Here's some interesting facts about Penang according to Wikipedia. I'm here now as I share these facts. Penang is a Malaysian state. Georgetown is the capital of Penang state. Georgetown is located on an island that you can access by ferry or bridge, including the mainland part of Penang. About 1.8 million people live here. The earliest human remains in Penang dated back about 6,000 years. The artifacts near the remains are of a Hindu-Buddhist civilization. This area was later ruled by the Sultan of Kedah until the British arrived. And in 1770, Francis Light of England was instructed to form trade relations with Malaysia. When Light arrived, the Sultan was under internal and external threats. Light promised military protection, and the Sultan offered Penang Island to the British in return. After the Sultan agreed, the British arrived in 1786. Since George was the King of Britain at the time, Light named Georgetown after King George. Penang never received the military protection promised by Light. The Sultan later learned that Light did not have the British's consent to make the deal, so the Sultan tried to take the island back in 1791. That's when the British showed up, finally, to protect their own interests. The island remained under British control until Malaysia's independence. Light founded Georgetown as a free port to take business from Dutch trading posts. Penang Island became famous for spice production. The port trade expanded exponentially until 3,500 ships traded here by 1802, the year of 1802. In 1826, Penang, Malacca, and Singapore were incorporated by the British into what was called the Straits Settlements. Singapore displaced Georgetown as the capital of the Straits Settlements in 1832 due to Singapore's faster economic growth. After population growth outpaced Penang's ability to provide infrastructure led to riots, the Straits Settlement were officially made into British colonies. This allowed greater police protection, improved healthcare, education, and public transportation. Due to increased investment in education, intellectuals and authors started living here, such as Rudyard Kipling, Somerset Maugham, and Sun Yat-sen. The Japanese invaded and took Penang in 1941. The Brit, in order to prevent communism, they said. The British evacuated Penang's European population, which led to the moral collapse of British rule in all of Southeast Asia. The Japanese massacred the Chinese population of Penang and used the women as sex slaves. The port of Penang was used as submarine base by the Japanese and the Germans. When the Japanese surrendered in 1945, Penang was the first city in Malaysia to be liberated from the Japanese. In 1948, the British colonial Penang was merged into the Federation of Malaya. Penang had been the most successful city in Malaysia, but the Malay nation favored allocating resources to Kuala Lumpur over Penang, so Penang fell into disrepair and decline, leading to discontent of its citizens once they took over from the British. Georgetown's efforts to revitalize its cultural heritage starting around 2000 paid off, and by 2008, Georgetown's colonial era center was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Today, it is recognized as one of the most interesting tourist destinations in Southeast Asia. If you're interested in the subject of present moment awareness, my new videos on that subject are now being posted on my new Present with Vagabond Buddha YouTube channel, link provided. The older videos are on the Vagabond Buddha channel's Presence playlist. Please subscribe to Vagabond Buddha or our YouTube channel to watch us move around the world, 65 countries so far. This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. Thank you for stopping by. The world is your home. What time will you be home for dinner?